So we're here in our showroom in Burbank, California, about to get started on these rigs that we're building for Don Felder in his camp. It's an amazing opportunity to be able to do this. I'm a huge fan. I remember trying to learn Hotel California as a youngster, trying to get into playing guitar solos. It was so challenging, fell on my face a lot of times. Now I've already delivered one to him that he used on a tour kind of pre-COVID, and now I'm building the remainder, the other 3. So he has 4 in total of these rigs that they can use throughout the band, whether it's Don, whether it's David Meyer, who's another guitar player which we featured on the channel before, who plays with Don, who's an excellent player. Whoever's using his rigs, it's unimportant to me. I just want to make sure that I'm doing my job, they're working great, they're sounding great, and I'm going to bring in my friend Justin Derrico a little bit later to play through the rigs as I kind of get them together to make sure that they're sounding the part, they're looking the part, and those tones are coming through a nice clean amp the same way they're going to be using when they get these back on the road or in some of the live streams that they have coming up. And then we're going to deliver them to Don and his crew, or they might come over and pick it up from us, but my job is to make sure that they work, they sound good, and you're going to get to see that. Let's do it. My name is Mason Marangella. I build rigs for the industry's top professionals. Now, I'm teaching guitarists how to build rigs like the pros, with DIY tips, easy mods, and all the tricks of the trade. I am the Rig Doctor. All right, so what do we got here? We got some Lely volume pedals going on. We got some Peterson tuners going on. We got some MXR talk boxes. Classic MXR joint. We got some full tone OCDs. Let's see. Oh yeah, full tone OCD, some steel strings, Keeley modded blues drivers. I've made some interfaces already for this, so I kind of just have a few of them kind of laying around. Carbon copy, and then going with the True Tone power supply. And I've already sort of templated these so it'll be really fast for me for these to go together. And of course got some risers that I'll be installing from Fixed Pedalboards here, which will be cool. Got all the other goodies here, some extra cables that I made on the last rig, all the talk box gear, and some extra risers that we're going to need to do the whole thing. So should be pretty cool. Looking forward to getting started. Just finished the 3 boards. As you saw, everything was really templated. We'd already done this rig before, so it was really fast to put everything together in the exact same place. All the cables were pre-measured, all the pieces of Velcro were marked, so we knew where everything was going to go, whether it was a talk box, whether it was a delay, whether it was an overdrive. So I finished those up, but we got to test them, and I can't think of a better guy than the Voice's own Justin Derrico, who also plays with Pink. There's a lot of exposure at playing the Eagles stuff all the time. It gets brought up throughout the course of the seasons of The Voice. So he's going to hop by, he's going to play some Eagles licks for us and make sure that all these things are sounding right before we give them back to Don and his crew so that they can start using these on some of their upcoming live streams as well as their tours once the COVID stuff disappears, hopefully sooner than later. Now, while I'm waiting for Justin, a few things I want you to know about that may not be so obvious if you haven't watched any of our videos before. First of all, everything on the board is soldered. You definitely want to use soldered cables wherever possible. Not only does it increase the reliability, but if these are going to be on the road, going all over the world in all different sorts of environments with different humidities, you want to make sure that you've connected your hot and your ground to the most reliable type of connection that there is, and it is not solderless. It requires an airtight connection that's also gas tight. It means no corrosion is going to be possible, or as little as possible, given the environments, and that's what we want to make sure that we provide for Don and his team who are going to be using these rigs. Now the other thing is that you want to be using the best materials when you are going to solder. One easy shortcut that I've talked about many times in our video is about using the existing cables that come with the majority of your power supplies. This is one from Voodoo Lab. Essentially what I'm doing is I'm measuring these to length to go into our True Tone power supply that we're using here. Once I determine the length that I need, I cut away one end and then I re-terminate a new end. If you want to know exactly how to do this, I made a really cool video about how to customize your own DC power cables, how to solder them, and how to do it using the existing cables that already come with your power supply. The other thing that you should definitely be doing, if you're not already, is soldering your guitar cables, your instrument cables, your patch cables. On Don's rig, we soldered all of this stuff. And I used one of my favorite plugs, which is the SP400 from Square Plugs. And our good friends over at Bestronix sell the entire line of square plugs, the straight versions, the right angle versions. And if you're confused on which ones you need to get for the right diameter cable size, they have a lookup table, and they can also direct you if you email them through their website and tell you which cable is going to work best with that. They also sell their own brand of cables at Bestronix, which are also excellent, that I've used for many artists like Tosa Nabasi, and they sound fantastic. So you're not going to go wrong whether you choose Mogami, whether you choose Bestronix. And if you're not comfortable with soldering, they'll actually make them for you to length if you just tell them how long you need it to be, whether you need right angles, straight, or a combination thereof. They can do it all for you. I'm going to link all that in the description below, and also a tutorial on exactly how to solder these, just like I did on Don's board. Now, power supplies are extremely important, and we chose one of the best in the industry, which is also a fairly budget-friendly power supply, in the True Tone One-Spot CS7, a nice switch mode style power supply. Keeps it nice and quiet and can be used at any voltage, no matter where you are in the world. You plug it in and it automatically calibrates that input voltage and gives you exactly what you need to the pedals. And we got some odd voltages here with the steel string running at 18 and also the talk box running at 18 at 1 amp of power. So that's 1,000 milliamps. Does it all, no problem, noise free. So definitely check that out. I'm gonna link that in the description, as well as all the materials I used here. So let's meet up with Justin. Let's see how these things sound. It's definitely nailed the tone, definitely encapsulated the vibe that we were going for, using pedals into a clean amp, which is exactly what Don and his crew are going to be using. So I'm glad just to be building for them. Just love the fact that they thought of me, that I was the one they decided to use for this, and building for one of my idols is certainly one of the milestones of my career. So to be in this position now certainly feels surreal, and certainly is a huge, huge blessing. I'm very grateful for the opportunity to do it. If you like what you saw today, this was of interest to you, we have lots of stuff that looks just like this, where we're building for rock icons, guitar icons, and also just doing tutorials to show you how to do a lot of this stuff on your own. If you're interested in that, you should subscribe. You can hit the bell icon and it will let you know every time we come out with new content just like this. Another thing you can do if you want to help out, we have linked all the products and materials that we use today for these rigs. If you want to copy any of the stuff that we've done, we invite you to do that, and you can get the very same materials that we used. And if you get those through Amazon, we get a small commission for every unit that is sold. So know that it helps us, helps the channel, makes it more sustainable for us to do this on an ongoing basis. The other thing you can do is head to our website. We have plenty of different Vertex pedals that you can purchase if you'd like to support us. And we also offer a Patreon page, which is a membership service that we offer to give value-added services to viewers just like you, DIY tutorials, and also one-on-one coaching with different tiers available. If you can't afford any of the tiers that are listed on our Patreon page, send us an email and we will grant you free access to our basic tier at no charge, no means test necessary. If you request one, we grant 100% of those. So please do check that out as well. And last thing, we also have a podcast. So you can find us on iTunes, Spotify, all the major podcatchers, and we're available to listen to all the time there. You can hear the Rig Doctor 24/7. I interview a lot of other rig builders, famous rig builders from all over the world, Europe, here in the US, domestic and abroad. You can hear other perspectives, as well as a lot of other artists that are making great music and talking about their favorite gear, their rigs, and their career trajectory and the arc and history of how they got to where they were. So please do check that out as well. Until next time, I'm Mason Marangella, the Rig Doctor. See ya.